You're listening to a podcast, the Eli Castro Show. I am Eli Castro.
And I am Mike Oquendo, Mikey O.
So, Mike, 2016 is basically over.
That's it.
That's it. Se acabó. That's it. No,
Se
no hay más.
acabó. No hay más nada, pero que ya tú sabes, es otro año and la gente están diciendo que, a lot of people, I see a lot of posts about it being a terrible year, this, that, I don't know.
What sticks out to you from 2016?
The elections.
So, you're talking about the presidential election?
The presidential election, yeah.
How can we, I mean, if somebody missed 2016, how could you wrap up the presidential election that took place this year in a very brief way?
What happened?
What, you still don't know what happened?
Well, I know what happened, but I'm still blown away by the turn of people's feelings. What was it about this candidate? Basically told people this is the guy we want to vote for. What's happening in America right now?
Well, I definitely remember 2016 in terms of the election as it being very ugly.
Yeah.
But very funny.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I found Trump to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought he was nuts, personally. I thought he was crazy. But I found him to be very entertaining. I didn't think he was going to win. I was one of these people that said, no, este no gana. He's too crazy. He's too nuts.
Yeah.
And I said he's going to win.
He's too good for a comedian's dream, really. It's too good to be true. There's no way people are going to elect him, and they did. And now everybody's in shock because he's just going to keep giving us material, really. Somebody
was saying, does he really tweet his own stuff? I think that he comes up with the basics of it, but I think there's got to be somebody there going, no, don't send that. Let's tweak that a little bit so it sounds like you.
No way. I think it's the exact opposite. I think he tweets himself and he doesn't have anybody to go, whoa, don't do that. I think he tweets. I think he likes the fact that he can do it. I think he likes the fact that he can go en el baño and just do it by himself, do it privately and tweet without having to get it approved or have it to go through committee. I think he does. I think that's something that he's carried over from his private life. And now he's going to continue to do it, except that now he's the most powerful man in the world tweeting estupideces.
Yeah, you hit it on the head, estupidez. Yeah. Yeah.
We did lose a lot of celebrities this year. Which one stands out to you?
I would have to say the most is Prince.
I mean, that movie, Purple Rain, that defined an era.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that movie was, if you wanted to know what it was like to be cool, you watched that movie over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And as a performer, he was absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Have you seen Prince? I mean, have you seen Purple Rain lately?
No.
Okay. Well, one of the things that happens is, when you see it that much when you're younger, I had not really seen the movie. Of course, I hear the music all the time, but had not seen the movie since I saw it as a much younger person when it first came out, a few times, like you said. But, it's kind of funny because if you watch it now, especially in the business that we're in, you're like, oh, my God, that was some pretty,
corny.
Almost corny acting, Papa. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. A lot of the movies are like that. Listen, one of my favorite movies growing up in the 80s was Breaking.
Yeah.
Right? And Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, I even bought them. And I was proud to show them off. And as soon as I pressed play, I was like, oh, my God, really?
What's she doing here? Hey, man, help me clean up this mess. What's the big deal? It's only a girl. Just do it. Fine.
Yeah. And what was, remember the other one, Salsa?
Oh, that's my favorite, man. Don't play
Salsa?
with that. Oh, I love that
Margarita.
movie.
Oh, man, you got to play some Margarita, bro. You got to play some Margarita, man. I love that song.
Oye, princesa, ¿cómo te llamas?
Margarita.
Oh, Margarita.
Margarita, chiamato a ti toda la vida. La 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 la. Sé que siempre te tendré. Margarita, yo te sueño cada día.
Love that song.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love salsa. Absolutely love salsa. That definitely was at a time for me where I was discovering the genre of salsa. I was in high school, and when I saw that, I thought, wow, our music really is global. It really does expand outside of La Sala, where Bobby would play it on the stereo over my objection to say, oh my God, really? Just play some Duran Duran.
Yeah.
And now I was able to see how great of a genre it was and how popular it could be. And I was hooked after that, man. I wanted to grow my hair long and dance with no shirt in my garage, sweating con mi novia.
I got you under my skin, deep in my heart's where you live. You have me flesh to the bone. There's nothing you do not own. No.
We lost another musical icon, David Bowie.
David Bowie, otro también.
Now let me tell you something. When I came over from Puerto Rico, it was the early '80s. So music to me was a big shock, right? The music that I would hear here was very different. But I grew up on David Bowie.
What was your favorite all-time David Bowie video?
Let's Dance.
And why?
Because it was different. I mean, if you remember, it was in some other country, and they were very poor, and he was just amongst them, and they would just start dancing. And at one point, I remember this girl had shoes, this red shoes on the ground, and she just put them on, and she just starts dancing, and everybody's just so light and jovial, and it felt right. George Michael.
Oh, yes.
Now that's another icon that we lost from the 80s, man. I'm an 80s kid.
Yeah.
We lost a lot there. I don't want us to mourn their passing. I want us to almost celebrate them.
Ave María.
Hermanos, queremos recordar esas estrellas del cielo.
Ave María.
Que aunque ya no viven en el cielo, viven en nuestros corazones.
Amen.
George Michael, what you know about father figure?
Yeah, man.
He will be missed, but here at El Podcast, we celebrate him. So not only did we lose amazing musical icons, but we also lost some great comedians, man.
Yeah, we lost Garry Shandling.
Wow. Yeah. Now, I'm a big fan of Garry Shandling. He wrote for many sitcoms that a lot of people don't know. He was a writer for Sanford and Son.
That's correct. Yes, he was.
He was a writer for a lot of those sitcoms in the 70s, and his first shot at a sitcom was called It's Garry Shandling Show.
Yeah.
On Showtime, which a lot of people don't know anything about. This was years before he would end up writing The Larry Sanders Show on HBO.
Yeah, he was an amazing, amazing writer, and no style like that to this day has come up again, or at least not that eager writing that he was well known for.
Yeah, and he was also known for being unconventional. And there's no better example of that than when you see It's Garry Shandling's Show. His opening theme music is unlike any you've ever heard for a sitcom.
This is the theme to Garry Show, the theme to Garry Show. Garry called me up and asked if I would write his theme song. I'm almost halfway finished. How do you like it so far? How do you like the theme to Garry Show? This is the theme to Garry Show, the opening theme to Garry Show. This is the music that you hear as you watch the credits. We're almost to the part of where I start to whistle. Then we'll watch It's Garry Shandling Show. This was the theme to Garry Shandling Show.
We also lost Gene Wilder.
Oh, boy.
Now, Gene Wilder, bro, was was, again, one of the most underrated comedic geniuses that we've ever seen.
Great. If you are listening and you have some time on your hands to just grab some great information on Gene Wilder's, there's some great stories about him working, how he worked, how he did his thing, and the producers and the people who worked with him and how he came up with a lot of his stuff. The guy was crazy funny and just crazy inventive.
You know what? So people know him from obviously hits like Willy Wonka,
right?
The producers, the original.
The original producers.
Well, anything with Gene Wilder is a great movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what you think of when you think of Tom Hanks, right? Anything with Tom Hanks in it's got to be good.
Yep.
Anything with Gene Wilder is funny.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I was watching clips from the movie Stir Crazy. Bro, I was laughing like a little kid.
Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor in Stir Crazy. Only these two guys could dress up like woodpeckers and get framed for robbing a bank. Stir Crazy.
That's right, we bad.
It's a beautiful dynamic that they had. Listen, anything with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, Stir Crazy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil. I think they did 2 of those. Anything with those 2 in it is pure gold. I would tell you it's funnier than anything Martin and Lewis did.
Yeah, funny.
So when you get to this part of the year, when we're talking about New Year's Eve, it comes inevitably with New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
25% of those resolutions don't even make it through the first week. Did you know that?
25%? It's that low?
Oh, you thought it'd be higher.
Well, I thought it would be at least 50% because everybody I know, I get all of I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to lose weight, right? I am going to stop smoking. Mm-hmm. I am going to stop drinking. I am going to, start a new job. And, to no fault of these people, it just doesn't happen. But
have you ever made a New Year's resolution to lose weight?
Yes.
You have? How long did that last?
Yes. Well, I'm 50 years old, and I have made them 32 times.
Okay. So technically, it's a 32-year-old resolution.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I already got my plan to lose. Now that I got a little bit of an incentive this time around, but I'm good for about a month, and then I go right back.
What do you do in that month, by the way?
Well, I'm going to tell you what's interesting about me losing weight. Mm-hmm. If I commit to no fried food, if I commit to no bread and no soda and no beer, I'm good instantly for 12 to 15 pounds. So February 15th, you see me and you're like, oh, mira, está poniendo la línea, qué lindo, mira. Right? And February 21st, I'm back.
So what happens from the 15th through the 21st?
I've always blamed it on the fact that so our schedule, our work schedule, it's easy to lose weight in January for me because I don't have a lot of shows. I am controlled eating. But once February comes and we start doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? You get to the theater or you get to the comedy club. You're working late, pizza. You're working late in burrito. You're working late, arroz con andouille, right? Okay.
That burrito after a show, huh?
After a show, forget it. Dos tacos,
so
olvídate, cheeseburgers, and then you go, and then the people who we work for at the shows, we're going to take you to the best cheeseburger restaurant in Orlando. We're going to take you to the best cheeseburger restaurant in Boston. So olvídate. That's it. I got to control that. I got to be able to say no. And, if you work long hours, you're like, dámelo, olvídate, vente, tíralo.
I've never made any New Year's resolutions because, I was raised Catholic, so I have Lent. For Lent, you always have to give something up, right? And I always would give up chocolate, right? And I would only make it through like one candle, tú sabes, because then I would break it and then I would feel bad. Then I'd have to go in confession. No te sale. He's going through confession. Tú sabes. Otra vez. Yeah, because I ate a Snickers bar on the way to church. And then I would always end up changing it to something easier, right? Like, I don't know, cutting back on vegetables, right? So then that was a lot easier, and I'd get much better results. So like you said, people just got to be realistic. But I knew that I had to lose some weight. So check it out. So I knew I had to lose a little bit of weight because some of the clothes that I've had was starting to fit a little tight, and I didn't feel like going shopping again, right? I learned that cutting carbs, really increases the chances of you losing weight. So I thought, okay, let me see. What are carbs? Rice, bread, and pasta are your big ones, right? Well, as Puerto Ricans, we eat tons of rice and bread. Tons. So I thought, okay, I'll cut that while continuing to do exercise. And it's worked out great. I don't have to wait till New Year's. I just started now, right? Because we have that trip coming up to Cuba. And I didn't want to have to wear sweatpants. So I started doing it. However, you know how difficult it is being Puerto Rican and cutting carbs?
It is very difficult.
But do you know what's even more difficult?
What's that?
Is explaining to other Puerto Ricans that you're not having any carbs, right? Because I would go. I went to a friend's house for Christmas Eve, and they had lechon, arroz con guandule, arroz blanco, arroz con salchicha. They had pan con mantequilla, pan sobao, pan de agua, right? They had a macaroni salad, they had egg salad, and I just took the lechon and I put it on my plate and I walked away. Bro, it was like I was walking around naked. ¿De qué hace este? Mira, ¿qué eso? Mira, hey, mira, come arroz. No, I'm good. Mira, come arroz. No, really, I'm trying to cut back on the carbs. Está bien, pues, come pan. No, I'm trying to cut on the carbs. Está bien, ¿no quieres pan tampoco? Pues dale ensalada de codito. No, you don't understand.
Yeah.
No carbs. Pero ¿qué le pasa con que? What's wrong with the carbs? Meanwhile, they've got una montaña de arroz. Una montaña de macaroni salad. You can't even see the lechon because it's buried. You got the pan, then you got the sauce. I mean, una montaña. You might as well put that in a bowl. But you got to walk around going, I know my plate looks flimsy. It just has lechon, but it's okay. I'm good. Pero to a Puerto Rican family, they have no concept of what you're trying to do. They don't, not only do they not want to understand, they want that rice on your plate as soon as possible. Come arroz. Si yo voy a engordar, tú vas a engordar también.
Let's talk about a typical plate. Let me explain a little bit about the way diabetics are kind of trained by hospitals and how that applies to Puerto Ricans, just so you know. So in a typical scenario, if a diabetic has on his plate, what they try to do is try to get him to not so much struggle through the diet, but to dump 1 or 2 carbs, right? So let's just talk about turkey. Turkey, green beans, mashed potato, salad, and a piece of bread. In that scenario, you would get rid of the mashed potato and the bread. You could have everything else, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to punish yourself, you want to have green beans.
Well, no, but that's the way, like, for example, doctors who promote healthy living with respect to how it applies to a diabetic, that's what they do. You know, in any scenario, if you got a cheeseburger with fries, kill the fries, have the cheeseburger with 1 bun, you know, kind of cut down some of those carbs and try to enjoy the best you can, right?
Let's go inside Tim's body because it's like a factory, all of ours. The typical American diet, and you put the rice in there. It's not even bad food. You get chickens and some strawberries, but things with carbs in them. Your body uses all these foods and converts them to sugar, so you can burn them off for energy. But if you eat too many of these things, especially if they have too much sugar in them, what happens? You start to save the sugar as fat. That's how the body naturally stores it. Put a little ice cream in there, you're really in trouble, right? Now, what Tim is telling us is by cutting out the carbs, you develop what's called a ketogenic diet. Right? His body runs very differently. He primarily takes in fats, avocados, meats, even butter, right? Fats, but no carbs. Bacon, he's eating bacon, but no carbs. There's nothing left to convert. The sugar only stuff can come out that he can store, rarely, but because you can't store those nutrients, there's no much sugar, you begin to contract your waistline because you have created what are called ketones.
Okay, now, think about a Puerto Rican struggle. You got to think about that. Papa, arroz con andule, carb. Ensalada de papa, carb. Escabeche de guineo, carb. Oh, no, pero tú sabes qué yo tengo aquí. Yo hice unos bacalaitos, carb. No, pero cómete tengo ahí unos tostones, carb. No, pues está bien, pues échale plátano maduro, carb. Right? So that's really what a Puerto Rican goes through. You try to work with it, but it's very difficult with a Puerto Rican dish. It is.
Bro,
it is.
And that's what I'm saying. Imagine for Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve when that Puerto Rican is just walking by that long line of dishes and just going, I'll just take some lechon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because the next time they see you and they see you skipping on rice and bread and macaroni salad, they're going to be like, pero mira, ¿todavía tú estás con eso? Yeah, you have to kind of stick to it. You know what I mean? They'll see you skip it once, pero otra vez. Mira, do not pass on the rice otra vez. Oíste? Sin vergüenza. Sírvete arroz.
Now, what does the doctora have to say about this? Like, what does the doctora, of course, she's a pediatrician, but what does she tell Puerto Rican people struggling with diabetes or, carbs? What does she tell them?
I mean, all in good moderations, like you said.
Yeah.
You got to really smart eating, right? You have to make smart choices.
Yeah.
But luckily, she's with me on this. In other words, she's also cutting back on her carbs as well, but she still wants to have a little bit of it, right? So, for example, she makes rice, and she knows that I'm trying to cut back, so she won't make too much rice. ¿Entiende? Mm-hmm. And when she serves herself a little rice. I'll take some rice, ¿me entiende? But I'll take a small quantity compared to el arroz que yo comía. Bro, I could eat rice for 3 people.
Oh, right? Absolutely.
My motto was always, ¿qué quieres de comer? Arroz con lo que sea. That was my motto. Mm-hmm. Arroz con lo que sea. ¿Quieres comer? Yeah. ¿Tiene arroz? Pues yo lo como. ¿Quieren comer lasaña? Dámelo con arroz. I was arroz con lo que sea. That was like the starting plate. ¿Tienen arroz? Yes. Then let's look at the rest of your menu. ¿No tienen arroz? Then I gotta go.
Yeah. It's difficult. I have incredible respect for a very well-disciplined diabetic. It's a terrible disease. It's a very tough, a lifestyle to recover from. I think most people, but doctors will tell you, I take you off these carbs and I can get you to do this. I'm taking you off that insulin. I'm going to put you on the pill. And being on the pill is significantly better than being on the shots. So unfortunately, you're doing it for healthy living, but I think long term, on top of your diet, you're going to avoid diabetes. There's proof,
Yeah, well, that's a good side effect. In other words, that's a good long-term effect. I'm doing it to avoid la panza que tú tienes.
Ajá.
Esa panza que tú tienes, que tú la tienes escondida bajo esa ropa grande.
No, esta panza, papá. Ajá. Esto no, para que sepa, esto no es panza.
Ajá.
Okay.
What is it?
Lo que pasa fue, déjame explicar lo que pasó. Lo que pasó fue que nací tan inteligente que hicieron unos estudios y lo que realizaron fue que God, he gave me a brain and a half. And because he couldn't install it in any other part of the body, he installed another half of a brain to the right of my liver. And so it hangs there. And so that's all. Eso es inteligencia.
We just made a scientific breakthrough in el podcast.
No, así fue. Mira, to be honest with you, and I've never really said to myself, oh my God, I want to meet a girl, I want to lose weight. Oh my God, I'm sick, I want to lose weight. I don't know. I just haven't. I've never quite been an appearance type guy that way, right? Although it should be healthy. But let me just say this. This coming 2017, I'm involved in a theatrical project. I can't say too much about it right now. And what happens is the guy tells me, here's how the guy tells me that I was overweight. He says, in the 1960s, men were slim. And the reason they were slim was because 75% of all employment for men was physical labor. There were no health clubs. It's that men worked with they were involved in physical labor. And I think, then I started thinking to myself, wait a minute, this guy's calling me fat, but telling me that I got to get skinny for this role because in the 1960s, men were slim.
Yeah, but did you tell him that you need that extra space for that half a brain you're carrying left of your liver?
That's what I said. I said, what makes me a brilliant actor is this half the brain that's living in here.
And that is el podcast, the Eli Castro Show.
I'm Mike Oquendo, brain and a half, papa. Brain and a half.
For more information on Mikey's events, go to MikeyOComedy.com.
Mi gente, don't forget, in Chicago, coming up on January 20 and 21, El Show, directamente de Orlando, Florida. For more information, you can go to www.elicastro.com.
Mi gente, muchas gracias. And don't forget, life is so much better when you're laughing.
Thank you.